What if every note in your wallet was a lie? What if the paper, the ink, the symbols of value you hold were all just an illusion? The entire system of trust that your economy is built on could collapse in a single day, brought down not by a war or a famine, but by a handful of sheets of paper. This is the unbelievable but true story of the most sophisticated counterfeiting operation in history, a scam that could have destroyed a nation's economy. The year is 1938. The world is on the brink of another great war. In Europe, the Nazis are rising to power, and they have a plan more audacious than any military strategy. It was a plan to bring down the British economy from within by flooding the world with billions of pounds of forged British currency. They called it Operation Bernhard. This wasn't a few guys with a basement printer. This was a state-sponsored conspiracy. The goal was to destabilize the British economy, cause inflation, and finance the Nazi war machine. But to do it, they needed artists, not soldiers. They needed Jewish prisoners from concentration camps. The mastermind behind the operation was a Nazi official named Bernhard Kruger. His team was a group of brilliant forgers and printers, mostly Jewish prisoners who had been sentenced to death. They were brought to a special block in the Sachsenhausen concentration camp, known as Block 19 and Block 20. Here, they were given a choice: make perfect forgeries or die. These prisoners, men who had been stripped of their names and their dignity, were now the most critical asset in a secret war. They were given the best food, comfortable beds, and even a radio to listen to. They lived in an entirely different world from the rest of the camp, all for one reason: they had to create a perfect lie. The challenge was immense. They had to forge the Bank of England's banknotes, which were considered impossible to counterfeit. The notes had special paper, intricate watermarks, and unique serial numbers. The prisoners had to study every detail, down to the exact placement of a single thread in the paper. For 2 years, the prisoners perfected their craft. They analyzed the paper, they hand-carved the steel plates for printing, and they meticulously replicated the watermarks. They even went so far as to create tiny imperfections that would be found in a real banknote, like a faint smudge or a specific fold. The forgeries were so perfect, they were virtually indistinguishable from the real thing. To test them, the Nazis used them to pay their spies and purchase weapons from neutral countries. The forged notes were accepted by banks all over the world. Even the British Secret Service struggled to tell the difference. By the time the war was nearing its end, the Nazis had produced over 134 million pounds in forged currency. A staggering sum that would be worth billions today. But as the Allied forces closed in, the operation was on the verge of being discovered. The Nazis ordered all the equipment and the remaining forged notes to be destroyed. The prisoners were ordered to be executed. The prisoners, knowing their lives were at stake, managed to sabotage some of the printing presses. The Nazis, in a final act of desperation, threw the remaining crates of forged money into a lake in Austria. Many of the prisoners survived, thanks to the advancing Allied forces. After the war, the world learned about Operation Bernhard. The British government was forced to completely withdraw its banknotes from circulation and issue new ones, a process that cost them a fortune and caused economic chaos. The forgeries were so good that some of them are still found in circulation today. The Great Fake Banknote Scam wasn't just a story about a massive fraud. It was a story about the true value of money. The banknotes created in that camp were physically real. They were made of paper and ink. But they had no value because they lacked the most important ingredient of all: trust. And the lesson is timeless. From the South Sea bubble to modern-day crypto scams, it is not the paper or the code or the gold that gives money its value. It is our collective trust in it. And when that trust is broken, the consequences can be catastrophic. What do you think is the biggest financial lie of our time? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button for more untold stories of history.